France has suspended all military ties with Guinea 1 day after West Africa's worst bloodbath of its kind in years. 157 killed, said local human rights advocates. Monday's crackdown on a banned rally inside the National Stadium. 87 killed, according to police sources. Police firing live rounds at protesters angry over a possible run for president by junta leader Moussa Dadis Camara. Joining us now from Conakry, correspondent Alhassan Silla. Alhassan, first of all, we're getting unconfirmed reports of shots again being fired today. What have you seen? What's the mood in the capital?
Well, that's right. I mean, those reports have been filtering through that in an area known as Koza. That's one of the hub of the demonstrators. That there were clashes today between the security forces and demonstrators, and equally in other parts of town, the soldiers who are actually patrolling the streets have been intermittently firing shots into the air, to assure their security, because they are all based in very strategic areas of town.
This morning we heard Captain Camara on sister station Radio France International saying he was deeply sorry, but also saying he wasn't on site to see what was going on inside the stadium. How much support does he have right now?
Well, it's difficult to say, but whatever the situation, I think following what happened, it's almost very clear that the military leader may have lost some support simply because he failed to control those he referred to in the same interview you mentioned as uncontrolled elements in the army. At least people, now say that it would have been understandable if those people had used like tear gas or rubber bullets. But the fact that they fired live ammunition into the crowd does not speak well of the control, really, that Moussa Dadis Camara has over his troops. That's the opinion of many people I've been speaking to here within the last 24 hours.
And what's the state of play of the opposition at this point?
Well, some opposition leaders who were arrested were released late last evening. I spoke in particular to CBS early this morning. He said he was actually released from hospital because he had been hit by soldiers and was taken to a private clinic. He said, but he came back to a broken home, a house shackled, a house that was ransacked by looters. They broke his cars, they broke his furniture, they stole jewelry, they stole valuable, and he said, even my library, was destroyed. He says this is a very, very sad day for Guinea, and he says, this country needs to wake up and do something at least to ensure that these kinds of things do not happen ever again in this country. That's what people have told me. And I must say finally that the death toll has already, risen. The Organization for the Defense of Guineans is saying, that's a human rights group, is saying 157 people have died with over 1,200 injured, while hospital and Red Cross sources are putting their own figures of the dead at 137 people.
All right, thanks for that. Alhassan Silla there reporting from Conakry. And note that in reaction to that bloodbath, Guineans here in France venting their anger on their embassy earlier today, ransacking offices, according to police. These scenes from the Guinean embassy here in Paris, police who say they made some 20 arrests.